We are in the kitchen with Korey Kealey from Kitchen Konnected, and you were talking to me about cooking with cashews. And it was, to be honest with you, something that went over my head because it's not something that's part of my dietary restrictions, but for people who have issues with dairy or for vegans, cashews become an essential part of the diet.
They replace the creaminess and that texture, the smooth finish that you can't get. I didn't think you could get. So it was like the best thing that I ever learned, that when you soak cashews, so what you do is you take raw cashews that are unsalted and then you soak them in water for about 2 to 4 hours. If you want to fast track that, you can boil them if raw isn't important to you. And so basically they become really soft and mushy, and you can see that they break apart easily. So then what you do is you drain them and then you put them in your blender with some water. So this is about like a cup of soaked cashews, and you start small and then add depending on how much you want. So you can make a cashew milk with lots of liquid, but I like the creamy texture. So I basically put about a 1/4 cup of water to a cup of soaked cashews and then start there and then add a little bit.
So you're using these cashews as a way to create a cream, a little bit more flavor. So something that we would get like when we're having a milk-based latte or ice cream or anything of that sort.
So when you say flavor, the beautiful thing about cashews, when you soak them, they have no flavor. So they pick up whatever you put them with. So I make this cream up, it freezes. And so you don't even have to have it in your fridge. You can keep it and take a scoop at a time. So I have this to add. So I loved at one point in my life rosé sauces. Like the full fat whipped cream. Well, I will be unwell if I eat that now, and it makes me sad. So what you do is I make a tomato sauce, like a basic tomato sauce or whatever your favorite one is, and a little goes a long way. So if you take a scoop of this cream sauce, this is strictly cashews and water, and then you mix it up. I'll just use a spoon.
Okay.
You'll see this, it doesn't curdle, it doesn't do any of that stuff, and it just turns this into a beautiful, beautiful cream sauce. So you don't have to miss out, and it's mellowing the tomatoes, it's not changing the flavor. You do not know, like if I gave this to somebody, they would not know. I guarantee. We're gonna give it to Tony, he won't know. He won't know a thing. So
that's that we've made him here. There's a cream sauce for you.
Here's a cream sauce. Okay, so that's one idea of how I use it.
Okay, and then you were gonna put it over what?
So the other, right. So then, like, remember we made our spaghetti squash?
Yeah.
Beautiful over spaghetti squash. And then you're going to take some of your green onions, garnish it up. This is all hot, by the way, right? And then you've already got your green onions. You've got dinner pre-made in moments, and it's beautiful.
Look at that.
Plant-based, delicious. You could throw some chicken or shrimp on that, whatever you like. But it's just easy, and it's a concept that, just to get around your mind, like how you can do things a little bit more nutritiously. So that's that. So the other thing I do with it is, so I've made this in my blender. It makes a big mess, and it's hard to scrape down and all that stuff. So I make a lot of it. And so another idea, once I've got this out of the blender, is to make a dip, a creamy dip. So you can make like almost like your tzatziki. So you're taking this cream base again. It's pretty thick for a dip. So lemon juice added to it. And again, as a time saver, juice a bunch of lemons at once and put in a mason jar.
I asked you about how much this tool was, and you said about 30 cents.
Yeah, it's like a plastic tool. It actually fits beautifully into the top of a mason jar. I don't even know where I got it. So we're going to do that. We'll do a little salt and pepper. You want to just put some pepper in here?
Yeah.
And then the seasoning, garlic. If you grate garlic a little bit, it just adds a ton of flavor. Don't need much for this because we're not making much. And then, so again, cashews take on whatever you're adding to it. So we put salt, pepper, garlic, you could put some green and lemon, and maybe a few green onions in this too.
And I love it. Those green onions were done on day one of our Sunday prep that we had talked about.
So
look at that.
Put that with your veggies and you're good to go. So that's another idea. And so the other part, so at the end of taking all the cashew cream out of my blender, there's still a lot, like you can't see now, but it'll be all over the sides and stuff. So what I do is just pour water in there, swish it around, and then I add 2 dates. This is for my coffee. I make the most delicious thing for my coffee. It's the best thing.
Same thing.
2 medjool dates, and medjool dates they're almost like a caramel. They're soft and chewy. It does make a difference if you get those hard dates that are not great. Medjool dates are amazing. So I put 2 medjool dates in there, some cinnamon, and some maple syrup, and then I fill it up with water. And then you blend it, and you're making like a cashew milk, but it's almost like a milkshake. And then it comes out looking like this when you blend it. and I add this to my coffee. And it's, you know, it's a protein base. It's got cinnamon, which is great for your blood sugars, and has a little bit of maple syrup and dates, which is a good fiber.
Okay.
And it is so delicious.
So this is what you've been able to do for those that are suffering from those dietary restrictions, can't have that dairy. You have found a way to enjoy some of those things that you were really missing by really using the cashews. And this dip, by the way, so light, fantastic. I love it. If you're looking for more information, you can find it at Kitchen Konnected with a K.
Okay.